2 months ago, Shelby's father, David, fired Dawn, a black employee whom he had found sleeping in the break room of his hardware store several times. After observing her father's hiring process, Shelby is even worried that he might hesitate to hire applicants based on their race and that other black employees of his store might be impacted by his attitude. David has not seemed to take Shelby's opinion very seriously, but she wants to try again.
Hey, Dad.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, do you want to come over for lunch on Saturday? I was thinking we could talk a little bit more about what's happened since you fired Dawn.
Shell, are we still on this? It has been 2 months already. Alright. I guess I'm always happy to have dinner with my daughter. Making grilled cheese?
Of course, it's my specialty. So, Dad, I was wondering if we could talk about Dawn and everything that's happened since you fired him. I guess I just want to hear your perspective on it and share mine, and I feel like we haven't really had a chance to do that, and I just want to know if you'd be willing to try this.
Oh, well, okay. I don't know what else there is to talk about, but you know that I love you, and that if it's important to you, let's talk about it.
It is important to me. I guess I just feel like since you fired Dawn, you've been making comments that generalize black people's work ethic, and this worries me. But I want you to know that I love you and I respect you, and I really respect how you treat your employees, and that this conversation does not change my opinion of that or of you at all.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was bothering you so much, but I'll be willing to talk about it. But just know that I've been in business for 30 years, and I've seen a lot in my time.
I mean, I know this is kind of silly, it might seem silly, but I really want to make sure that neither of us feels attacked in any way. So if we could just try to, actively listen to each other, not accuse each other of anything, and not interrupt each other, because I'm totally here to listen to you, and I want to learn from you, and I hope that you feel the same way about me.
I promise to be on my best behavior.
Dad, I'm serious. Can we try it?
Yes, Shelby, I'll try my best.
Okay.
You know, sometimes it's hard for me to keep my cool, but feel free to rein me in.
I will. Okay, so Dad, do you remember when that guy came in to apply for Dawn's job, and he had a really good application, you said he had great references, all of that, but you said, well, it's better to be safe than sorry, and then you put his application at the bottom of the stack. Can you just tell me kind of what you were thinking there?
Who knew how many sales dollars I lost while Dawn was snoozing on the job? I mean, this is a business, Shelby. If the store doesn't do well, there's no food on the table. Frankly, I can't risk hiring someone like Dawn again.
Well, how was that guy like Dawn? I mean, you only met him for a few minutes.
I know what you're getting at, Shelby, but this is a business, not affirmative action. The guy looked like Dawn, he dressed like Dawn, he talked like Dawn. What else is there?
So what you're saying is that they're both black?
Shelby, I'm not racist. You know how much I love Jade, and I've hired lots of African Americans and Hispanics. I'm always giving them the benefit of the doubt, but I can only risk so much.
So when you say that you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, what doubt is there that they have to overcome?
Well, Dawn didn't help that stereotype.
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding what you're saying, that you feel that there's some connection between being black and being lazy?
Well, I'm sure not all black people are lazy, but in my experience, there does seem to be a trend.
So this actually reminds me of something I heard on NPR. I think it's called confirmation bias. It's like if we are looking for a stereotype in a person, that we're going to find that even if it's not actually there.
Okay, but when I see someone sleeping on the job, what other conclusion besides laziness can I draw?
Well, I mean, I think there could have been a lot of reasons that Dawn was tired at work.
No, I mean, I see what you're saying, Shell, but I know Dawn. He was lazy. He would cut corners whenever he could. He would get Mario to do his work by saying that he was busy with something else. He would stick around after the job was done just to stay on the clock later. Finding him sleeping just made it easier for me to get rid of him.
Okay. Well, I see why you'd fire Dawn. But I guess I don't really see how you would, generalize that all black people are like this. I mean, think about Jade. Like, how would you feel if she were denied opportunities for work or for school because of her skin color?
But that would never happen to her. Jade's different. She's smart, curious, happy. There's plenty of black people who are intelligent and hardworking, but there are plenty like Dawn.
Okay, I actually used to think the same thing. That there's all the really good, hardworking black people, and then there's all the other ones. And this is actually called exceptionalism. And it's really harmful because when someone doesn't fit into this mold of a good black person, then we treat them like a problem. And it can lead to a lot of violence and racism.
Wow, Shelby. Okay. I mean, I need to process that. I mean, I definitely recognized Don's humanity. I cared about him. I gave him chances to improve, but I see what you're saying, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I know how much you care about your employees. I remember when Casey had car trouble and you gave him an advance, and, you know, I understand why you would fire Don. I guess I just hope that you'll recognize that you kind of have this tendency to see black people in a polarizing way as either good or bad. And I just hope you can, you know, recognize that and make sure you're not making decisions based on that thinking.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it's definitely something I don't feel good about, but, and I've never really talked about something like this before, but I guess I could try.
Thanks, Dad. I watched this movie recently. It's called 13th. It kind of talks about some of the stuff that we talked about today. And it also talks about how a lot of us, we think that slavery was a really long time ago, but systems that come from slavery still really affect us. And I was wondering if you'd want to watch it with me.
Okay, I can watch it. I think I'd like watching it with my daughter.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you had this talk with me. I know these talks are kind of awkward, but I'm really glad that you were willing to talk, and I love you.
Love you too. And thanks for initiating.